Buddy, I got great news.
I could use that. Hit me.
There's only 23 games left this season.
Right.
Well, assuming they don't make the playoffs. Yeah. So that is only 1,380 minutes of Leafs hockey left.
Oh, is that it?
That is it. Unless they go to overtime. That's right. So games are an hour long. I did the math there. There's 23 games left. That's 23 hours. That's less than a full day of Leafs hockey.
Oh, and you put it like that, it makes it seem so short and easy to enjoy.
Let's go. It starts with an A and ends with anxiety. Off the charts levels of passion. That's just a nightmare.
With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR.
I have an ulcer! Leafs lose 5-1 to the Florida Panthers. Bro. They're so bad. Because here's the thing. They were 6 points out when the games returned. When they got back from the Olympics, they were 6 points out. They had to climb over a bunch of teams. It was highly unlikely they were ever going to make the playoffs. But if you were an optimist or if you're just a silly Billy, you don't need to be an optimist. What if you're just silly? What if you're just a silly goose honking around the pond thinking, hey, I like my favorite team. Honk, honk, I hope they make the playoffs, right? I'm not even saying I think they're going to make it or they're likely to make it. You're just hoping. You're just a hope and a prayer and a bunch of feathers, you silly goose. Look at you. If you had any hope that the Leafs might make the playoffs over the last 24 hours, this doll of me is the Leafs' playoff hopes. And I am the Leafs. You son of a... I broke a nail doing that! I gotta go back to the hospital! Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. The first period was just, yo! Have some of that! And that! Yo! I was conflicted about using this as a prop, too, because it's got Iggy. He's dead. The Leafs were outshot 16-6 in the first period, and honestly, the shot counter, I think, was kind to the Leafs by the end of the frame. Because it was actually worse than that. First of all, the Panthers' first goal was like 3 minutes into the game. And it was Marchand. Cool! Now I just can't wait to stop filming and cut this off. Anyway, it was Marchand, 3 minutes in. The shots were 3-0, and then they shot it on goal, and I don't know if that registered as a shot, and then Marchand took a shot, and then so it's 4 or 5-0 in the shots, and he scored! The Leafs breakout sucks, and the Panthers send it back the other way. Wool comes out of his net to play it, and he has lots of time, and the Leafs have lots of time, and he plays it around the boards. Uh-oh, did he misplay it? I don't know, not really, because it goes to a man along the boards, and that man has support coming up the boards to lead the breakout. Matthew Nye specifically, but puck goes the other way. Panthers have it at the point. They put it on. And it doesn't really matter what Joseph Wool's groin is made of. It is very unlikely that puck is staying out of the net. 1-0. All right. You start the game early, down against the Florida Panthers in Florida. Great. Less than 2 minutes later, Panthers have the power play. Why not? Puck comes behind the Leafs net. Stetcher can't settle it down. The Panthers throw it in front. Rodriguez makes a nice pass to Verhaeghe. Would you rather this be a save? You'd rather. Maybe it should be a save. I don't know. Was it a save? No. It wasn't. 2-0 Panthers now. Hey, what are the shots? Oh, okay. It says officially 4-0, which means it was 4-0 when Brad scored, which means... Oh, was this the next shot? This was the next shot. Panthers had 5 shots and 2 goals before the Leafs had their second shot on goal. But I tell you what, it's a 2-0 lead. It's the most dangerous lead in hockey, or whichever, I don't know. That saying was never right. Used to be a 2-goal lead was the most dangerous lead in hockey, and then the Leafs showed up. But the saying, all leads are terrifying, didn't roll off the tongue nearly as well, so they went with, I don't know. Anyway, Leafs get a power play. Look at that. You're only down 2. You have an opportunity to be down 1 after this power play. Oh no. Matthews hands it off to Willie. Willie gives it away. Evan Rodriguez breakaway. And I'm not showing you this screenshot to show you how much of a breakaway he had. I'm showing you the screenshot to show you that the shots were 16-3, which means Rodriguez has made it 17-3, but at the end of the period, it was officially 16-6, so that's obviously wrong. But the point I am trying to make is the point I tried to make a few minutes ago. 16-6 is so bad, and it's actually worse than that. So from that point on, the Panthers could keep their pedal to the metal. They could keep their foot to the floor, but it's an 82-game regular season. A lot of these guys just get back from the Olympics. That's just not how it works. In certain games, yeah. In the playoffs, yeah. 23 games remaining, no, you try to conserve your energy. And so you park the bus and you don't try as hard. And then score effects take over, and all I kept hearing was the Leafs played better the last 40 minutes. That wouldn't be impressive or acceptable even if that were the truth. Like, that would still suck. You got caved the night before. Then you have an opportunity for a get-right game, and you might as well grab a bullhorn and scream, "Please fire my coach" into it. And you get run out of the building in the first 20 minutes? Less even, including giving up a shorty? You stink! Second period was better. I don't know if you noticed, they didn't score. First minute of the third, the Leafs were on a power play, all right. John Tavares scores. Have you noticed that the Leafs only have 3 goals in these 2 games over the past 24 hours, and 2 of them are from John Tavares? I'm noticing. And then the most fortunate offside review, I think, in human history. Here come the Florida Panthers very shortly after. Morgan Rielly falls down. Brandon Carlo is skating backwards. He does not know that Morgan Rielly has fallen down. He trips over Morgan Rielly. Now the Leafs' entire pair, totaling over $10 million against the salary cap, is lying on the ice because they have fallen over each other. And Mackie Samoskevich comes in and scores, causing everyone watching everywhere, TV, the internet, whatever, to burst out laughing because it was the Leafs season in a nutshell. And as if to punctuate the point, Sam Kim and Jordan Bean, the Leafs video team, bails the Leafs out yet again with their 3rd successful offside challenge in 24 hours. I gotta add the 2 empty netters to make this work. Marchand hit the post. It was funny. Leafs didn't do anything with it, and then he scored anyway. Panthers get another one. All right, they win 5-1. So here's the total. In the last 24 hours, in the past 2 games, the Leafs have allowed 10 goals. 7 of them counted. 3 of them were taken back because of offside on video review. And actual goals that the Leafs scored, 3. Jordan Bean and Sam Kim have as many goals as the Leafs over the past 2 games. I'm going to say it again. Over the past 2 games, the 2 most valuable members of the Toronto Maple Leafs have played 0 minutes and 0 seconds on NHL ice! With the exception of Sam Kim, who used to be the New York Islanders mascot. That's true. I'm not messing with you. That is one of the Leafs... I am not messing with you. That is one of the Leafs video guys, part of the best video team in the entire league. He was Sparky, the New York Islanders mascot. And that guy and Jordan Bean are completely outperforming the entire rest of the team. It's unbelievable. I'm going to say this again. The Leafs' last trade was July 16th. The trade deadline is in 8 days. The trade deadline is next Friday, and we will be covering that on the SDPN YouTube channel. And I would tell you to follow along on the SDPN YouTube channel on that day, but you should follow along now because trades are about to happen and we're going to be talking about it. If you aren't subscribed, you should subscribe. Questions. Did we as a fan base basically become this? And it's a comic that says, I want things to be different. And then they take a baseball bat to everything and then they say, oh no. No! Because, and if you've been watching for a long time here on this channel and on the podcast, okay? You're referring to the big change with Mitch Marner no longer being on the Leafs. I asked for that. Or something like it. It didn't have to be Mitch specifically. It just had to be something to do with the core 4. Could have been anything to do with the core 4. I asked for that dating back as far as 2021. I definitely asked for it in 2022. And in 2023, I begged for it. And the GM sounded like he was going to do it. And then they fired him. They fired him. The president fired him. The lame duck president, who we knew was a lame duck president, and they kept him as a lame duck president after letting him do that and then fired him. It's great stuff. You know what no one asked for? No one asked for Easton Cowan to be a healthy scratch heading into the Olympics, then not sent down to the Marlies for the entirety of the Olympics, and then first 2 games after the Olympics, he's a healthy scratch. The Leafs' 20-year-old blue chipper has not played a hockey game in like a month! Ah! Who told you that was smart or a good idea? You know, when I was at the hospital on Monday night, they asked me what I do for a living. We'll get into it on the show. I was on board with a lot of the things the Leafs were doing for a lot of years. But the thing that they should have taken a look at a long time ago was significant change to the core. And they wouldn't do it until they had no choice in the matter. They were lucky to get Nick Waugh out of it. And now here we are. And that's the fan base's fault. Next, Willie's postgame was off. More than just sad and frustrated about a loss. Lots of I don't knows, and just felt like he was more annoyed than normal. Asking for a trade / being told he's being shopped? Is that a good idea? I get Leafs have limited options for a good return, but I don't know. So what I should say right off the bat is I acknowledge, I'm picking up what you're putting down with Willie did seem off. If you watched his post-game quotes, something was different there. This was not quite normal Willie after a loss. Does it have anything to do with him being traded or asking for a trade or being shopped? I highly doubt it. Those guys are proud. I think back to a quote from Matthew Nyes from, I don't know, something like a month ago, where he was asked about the playoff picture, and I think he said something along the lines of, I don't know, I don't even look at the standings. But he didn't say that to be aloof. He said that because he had belief that this team is going to make it. And I think what's gotta be sinking in to everyone collecting a Leafs paycheck is, I don't think they're gonna make it. And for him, that is to say, I don't think we're gonna make it. And I gotta imagine, especially after the Olympics that Sweden had, that's a terrible feeling. And I gotta be honest, I get it. But the only thing worse than the losing that the Leafs are doing is doing nothing about it. So if the Leafs would like to step up, management, players, literally anybody, I think we'd all like to see it. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. 23 more. 23 more. It's going to be Matthew Nyes more. Then it'll be Jake McCabe more.